Rise of Skywalker review. Okay, enough of that silliness. This is Dappleman, and this is gonna be my review for the Rise of Skywalker. I should put this aside. Okay, sorry about that, but you know what? I just couldn't help it because I am a lifelong Star Wars fan. I very much enjoy Star Wars, and I was super excited. No, I did not wear this robe to the movie. I almost did, but I forgot halfway when I was driving there. I was like, oh, forgot it. Oh well, I guess I can still watch it without it. I don't know, it's odd. I've wore it every single Star Wars movie. This was the only one that didn't wear it, and so maybe there's a reason why. I am mixed up with this movie. I don't know exactly where I need to say with this because it is hard. Let's just start with the same thing. It has the same original cast. Carrie Fisher's in it, and they did the best they could with Carrie Fisher because of her passing away, which was quite abrupt, along with the Star Wars fandom and the story. So that kind of they did the best they could with her. So I figured I have to lay that part down. The other part is J.J. Abrams comes back to fix up whatever mess that Rian Johnson did, because Rian Johnson did a horrible mess up with Last Jedi. That movie had some good moments and it had some horrible moments. I think one of the worst moments, I think every fan and every person I've ever talked to, was Casino. That's for The Last Jedi. This one, it's not going to be a spoiler, so you don't have to worry. If I spoil something, it's probably just a wee bit of a spoiling and not too much. I'm not going to do it hard because I'm trying to put it down. I wrote down my thoughts and I still I can't really put it out there. It's that it had good moments. It had good lightsabers. It had fights. It had some good fight sky sequences. And it's kind of hard when that's all you can say is that it had good fight sequences, but the reason why they're fighting or the reason why things happen, it's very hard because it moves by so very fast and some of the scenes cut off so abruptly. It is it's difficult. I don't know what words to explain this. When you watch the original trilogy, it was groundbreaking, it was fun, it was exciting. A lot of people, I guess, when they watch it, the least favorite is The Return Jedi. It's probably my least favorite, but at least there was something about the film I really enjoyed. And I'm one of those people who enjoy the Ewoks. I had Ewok DVD, and I enjoy their characters. A little silly, but I still enjoyed it. When the prequel trilogy was made with George Lucas, my least favorite is the Attack of the Clones. That was the very first movie I went to watch in the theaters, and I still enjoy the Yoda lightsaber fight, which is like a miniature Jackie Chan, and it was still somewhat fun to watch. Had wooden acting and everything else. This one helped. It did not have the wooden acting. It had fabulous acting by everyone. Everyone did the best they could with what they had. Unfortunately, they felt like there was no proper ending towards it. It felt like there was not a proper sense of direction from when they first started. It was like they was making this up as they go. And that is what made this conclusion of a film quite hard for many of us viewers or fans, lifelong Star Wars fan, to properly just digest and accept and like, this is what you're giving us. It's like you gave us the leftovers from the last two movies. The last two movies basically felt like two different type of beginnings. It didn't felt like The Force Awakens was the true beginning when you watch this trilogy as a whole. Now, I personally loved The Force Awakens. There was a couple of parts that was confusing and odd of how they relayed certain things, especially with Finn when he was fighting with a lightsaber, but you're not a Jedi. It just made no sense because this took Force training to actually use. This film does not even attempt to really explain anything. It doesn't explain anything on Finn's story. It doesn't explain anything on Poe. Poe just felt like he was just there just to be there. which was quite sad because when they did the Last Jedi, it felt like Poe could have a more important role. You couldn't help but it was like, okay, they're going to set Poe up for the next movie. Nothing. Rey, they answer her one or two-part question. There's like a two-part question I have to say that they actually answered in this movie, but when they answer it in this way, it felt like it was just a cheap shot in the dark. It just felt like it was so bland and like, really? And I know you've seen the posters, you've seen the trailers because you can't help but Palpatine's in this one, and it felt so thrown in. The first, I say 30 minutes just felt like rush, like, okay, let's get to this, okay, let's get to this, let's get to this, let's get to this, let's get to this, and they didn't even do like a proper like Star Wars shot. When you get the proper Star Wars shot, you know what I'm talking about. Because when you go from a shot like this, it goes like that, it's a certain style to it. It just felt like a very unfinished project, and you could understand why. Because with Carrie Fisher, with things that happened, this movie should have been done in two parts. Like the Harry Potter films. I believe it was the... I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I didn't watch the Harry Potter movies. I will, I guess, eventually now. But I think it was the Deathly Shallows. Do not quote me on that, but I believe it was so huge of an ending for such a massive movie production and everything else that happened. Oh, I'm even stumbling over my words. This movie should have been done in two parts. It felt like this should have not been a trilogy. This should have been further. I guess that's what they were thinking. They must have been trying to maybe force a way to make as much as they can in two movies into one, and that's what they did with this one. This movie should have had two parts. I know it's the traditional thing to have Star Wars and trilogies, but they really should have did four parts with this movie. The ending just felt so unsatisfied, and it felt like at the end there were so many questions they presented themselves with. They only answered two questions in the last movie. It was characters that they introduced into the last film. They just like threw on side characters. They made R2-D2 a side character. Yes, he's a side character, but he had like an important type of relevance throughout the Star Wars universe. Same thing with Chewbacca. It felt like they just threw him in there. So it's like, I'm sorry. This is not a very good video. And I can't think of anything else to say other than it very much disappointed me because I was there. I was excited. I couldn't wait. I was pumped. I was like, yes! Everyone else trashing us. Forget them. I don't care because people trashed Phantom Menace and I liked the Phantom Menace. I didn't like Jar Jar Binks, but I still like Phantom Menace. This one had an epic lightsaber fight. See, I'm just going back to over saying this again because it feels like I'm not really saying anything. Other than, you know what, just watch it. If you're a Star Wars fan, watch it. If you're not a Star Wars fan, you're not missing anything. I can't believe I even just said that. I encourage people to watch Star Wars films. I can't even really encourage them to watch this one because it relies so much on previous films. It can't be a film of itself. And I know people may find it hard to believe, but I believe every Star Wars film has a way to watch it by itself, but still hold on to be part of a trilogy. This felt like it could not stand on its own if it had to or if it tried. It relied so much on trying to clean up what the other films did that it lost itself and it didn't know how to end itself and know how to come to a conclusion or to explain anything. So that is going to be my thoughts / review. I'm just going to say it owes somewhat to a fan base, and it tried to play so much for the fan base, but it really did nothing. If you're a Star Wars fan like me, you'll probably end up owning it, and you'll probably keep it on your shelf and you'll never watch it again. Or maybe just watch it just to see what they've done. I know I'm probably going get it, but it's not gonna be anytime soon. I don't know. I don't even want to. Well, I had this video too long, so take care. Have a lovely day, and cheers. I can't even say that without being quite happy about it. Oh.